Number 6, we will be going through the gradient mesh lesson, and we will be first starting off by downloading this link right here and pull it up in Illustrator. This is a little longer lesson, so I'm going to divide it in a few different parts and then add a title on each part so you can easily fast forward or back or whatever you want. So pull out that link in Illustrator and it will look something like this. The colors we're going to use this week is whatever you want. I have my swatches right here with just the basic colors the program comes with. But you can use the color panel and choose whatever colors you want to. If you want the swatches to come up, you click on Window and then click on Swatches. We're going to change some presets before we start off. So we go to Illustrator, Preferences. We go to Smart Guides. We're going to make sure that anchor/path labels is unchecked, as well as the construction guides are unchecked. We're also going to change our snapping tolerance to 1 point and then click OK. We're also going to make sure that our smart guides are turned on, and you see that it's turned on by this little check mark right here. I have the instructions right next to me, so I'm just going to start off at the top and work myself down. So first off, it said that we're going to zoom in on the upper butterfly, so this one up here. We are going to choose a color in the swatches panel without having anything selected. So I don't have anything selected right now. Just to make sure we don't have anything selected, I click on the selection tool and click anywhere on the screen just to make sure that we don't have anything selected. So I click on a fill. I want to have this red color, but I don't have anything selected. So just click on a fill and have that one on. You can go down to the mesh tool. The mesh tool is this little square on the tool panel. Click once on that one. We want you to, or the teacher, the instruction says that you're supposed to click once on each upper wing. So anywhere in the middle or in the corner or wherever you want. I'm just going to keep it in the middle. One here and then one down here. And then we deselect. If I don't deselect right now and I click on another color right now, it's going to change that color. But we don't want that. We want to keep it red. So we're going to click on the selection tool and deselect. We're going to choose another color. Whatever color you want, I'm just going to choose something bright, blue. We click on the mesh tool and we click again over here and somewhere over here. So by using the mesh tool, you can color in and create very cool gradients on a shape. It will also create these kind of boxes, and we're going to explore more of what they are further down in the instructions. By the number of mesh lines, we are going to go to the selection tool, click once, click on the black forewing. We can go to Object, Create Gradient Mesh. We're going to have 3 rows, 4 columns, appearance is flat, highlight is 100%. Click OK. And then this step is done. So these all have a few different names. They're all in the instructions, but I'm going to go through them right now as well. These are called anchor points. This is called a mesh patch because it's in the middle between 2 points. It's just a mesh patch. This is called a mesh point. So it's not the anchor points. The anchor points are on the outside, and the inside is called a mesh point. And then this is a mesh line. So we're going to use these to apply some colors. First, we're going to click on the direct selection tool. We are going to click on this mesh patch right here once, and then we're going to choose a color. I'm just going to continue with blue and red. Kidding, I think we may need to double click on this mesh patch, and this did not work. There we go. So I deselected it and then double clicked in the middle right here. I'm going to go back and do it again. So deselect, click on the direct selection tool, click once, so these all appeared, and then double click right here, and then choose a color. There we go. And then we are going to include the color. We're going to use the lasso tool. So Illustrator's lasso tool is right here, And we are going to select these 2 points right here. So lasso tool in Illustrator works the same as a real life lasso. You start at one end and you start dragging around the points you want to do. That's like a little black lasso rope. And let go. So we have these 2 selected. I'm going to click on one color and then they change color. We're also going to lasso these 2 points right here. So we start off over here, create a little circle around the points we want to select, and then click on the color. And there we go. The lasso tool is great to create mesh coloring gradients because then you can select a few points by just dragging them around. And there you go. We are going to work on the bottom butterfly. We're going to select the forewing of a lower butterfly, which is this one. And go choose Object, Create Gradient Mesh. I'm going to put rows 3, columns 3, appearance to the center, highlight 60, and then click OK. You can see that it changed a little bit in appearance. We are going to lasso the 4 upper anchor points, which are these 4. Click on the lasso tool, and then make a little circle around these 4 points right here. And click on a color, which is orange. And then we are going to select the lower right point with the mesh tool, which should be, click on the mesh tool, lower right point. Which is it this one? Yeah, we'll take this one. Add a little color, and then using the mesh tool, we're going to hold the pointer over the top left mesh point where the top horizontal line and left vertical line intersect, which is right over here. He has a picture of it in the instructions. And we are going to hold down our Option Alt till a little minus symbol pops up, and we are going to click on it and delete it. And that kind of changes the flow of the colors in the wing. You can always add mesh points or then delete it. Just be careful with how many mesh points you have so it doesn't get too confusing. It can get confusing quick. Now using the mesh tool, we're going to click once anywhere in the bottom, on the bottom tail wing to add a mesh point. Then we're going to choose color. So anywhere around here, boom, I'm going to choose the color, choose orange. And then we got marquee, select 3 left edge points with a direct selection tool and choose the color. Go to the direct selection tool, click once on this little anchor point right here, hold down our shift key to select more, click once on this one and then once on that one, and then select a color. Do orange. If we select the mesh tool in the toolbox and click the center mesh point to select it, click once. If we have the mesh tool selected, we can drag this one anywhere on the wing, which creates kind of a cool effect if you drag it a little further in. There we go. But that's totally up to you what you like to do. But these mesh points are totally movable. You can move any of them, the angle of it and stuff like that. Like you can move any of these that has a little line too. It's all what you like. And then this step is done. It's finished. I'm going to deselect it by clicking on direct selection tool and clicking anywhere on the screen. So we have one side of the butterfly done, and we want to copy it to this side. And we don't want to just copy it, we want to reflect it. So we're going to select both of these. We're going to use the selection tool. Click once here, and then hold down your shift key and click once on the bottom one. So we have this one selected, so we're not going to just copy and paste. We're going to select the reflect tool and option click the center of the butterfly's body. Our reflection tool looks like this. We're going to hold down our option key, or we're going to press the center of the butterfly right here. And we're going to enter 45. We have our preview on right here, and then we can see that it reflects on the other side. So we're not going to click OK, we're going to click copy. And then we're going to click on the selection tool and deselect. And there we have our little butterfly. For the next part of this assignment, we're going to modify with the mesh tool. We're going to work on the upper butterfly because we're kind of done with the bottom one, right? We're going to select the mesh tool right here in the toolbar. We're going to position it over the left forewing of the top butterfly, which is this one. Zoom in a little bit so we get to see a little bit better. We're going to select the left mesh point on the horizontal line. And we're not going to release our mouse. So we're going to locate that one. It's over here. So I'm going to drag it out a little bit. And that makes the wing a little more pointier over here. So you can drag it out as much as you want, but I'm just going to drag it out a little bit just to make it a little more pointier. Just like that. It does say in this direction you're supposed to hold down Shift. If I hold down Shift, I can't move it out further. It only moves the mesh line and not the whole shape. So you can work with it a little bit both. You can move it out a little bit, which is using the mouse, and then holding down Shift and pulling down a little bit. So it changes the coloring of it. And now we're going to deselect. So we click on the selection tool and click anywhere on the screen. To deselect, we are going to choose a color. I choose darker blue. We're going to use the mesh tool, clicking on the mesh tool. We're going to position the pointer in the center of a patch. So around here. And we're going to shift click to add a new mesh point. And there we go. And then as you notice here, even if we had a different color, it picked up by us holding down Shift, it picked up the color that we were hovering over. So here right now it's a mix between red and blue. But if you would have put it over here, it would have been just red. It doesn't matter where you put it, you just put it wherever you want. And now we're gonna option click the line just to the left. So option, click down here and delete it. And then that's part of that's done there. Okay, so now we just gotta duplicate this wing and move it over here. So we go to our selection tool, click anywhere on the screen. Now we're gonna select it. We are going to option click the reflection with the reflection tool. Option click reflection tool. And we're gonna place it in the middle of the butterfly right there. We're gonna enter 36. And then we're going to copy. And that was totally wrong, so I'm going to do it again. I think I messed it up. We are going to select the wing. We are going to click the reflection tool. We're going to shift click in the middle of the center of the, or option click, sorry. I totally messed up again. Select the wing, click on the reflection tool, option click. There we go, and enter 36 and click copy. And that did not really work out as I thought it was going to do. Copy this one and reflect it to this one over here. So I know it says in the instruction that we're supposed to select the forewing, click the rotation tool, hold option click in the middle of the butterfly, and then enter 36. And then click copy, but that did not work too well for me, so I'm just going to work it another way. So I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to do the selection tool, click on the wing. I'm going to right click, go to transform, reflect. We are going to copy, and then we are going to move this one down to position because you can see kind of where it's supposed to go. I'm using the selection tool to move it around. I'm going to twist this one a little bit to the side. You see that when you go close to these corners, you can start turning the wing. I'm just going to turn it a little bit and move it into position as the guidelines say. And oh, I didn't want to move the actual guidelines. There we go. Awesome. I don't know why it didn't work for me doing the reflection tool, but the best thing about Illustrator is that you can do one thing at least 5 times in a different way and still get the same result. So this is our little butterflies. We're going to continue working on the dragonfly as well coming up. You can locate your layers panel. If you don't have it up yet, it is under Windows and then down to layers. We're going to show the dragonfly and the leaves by clicking on this little box right here, which will make it into a little eye, which makes it visible. If there's no eye, it makes it invisible. So we just want to make sure that all of them are visible. We are going to, with the direct selection tool, not with the direct selection tool. So with the black, with the white arrow, we are going to click in the lower left wing of the dragonfly, which is, they have 2 wings right here, which is this one. We're going to go to object, and we're going to go down to create gradient mesh, enter 3 rows, 2 columns, center highlight, or appearance to center, and then highlights should be 80. And then we go OK. We're going to repeat this, the previous steps for each wing. Do the same thing, object, gradient mesh. So these settings have been saved from when we did the other wing. Okay, object, okay, and then last one. Okay. And then we're going to select all the dragonfly wings in the layer panel. You can see all of the lines and everything that makes the dragonfly by clicking this little arrow right here. So you can see that it's named with lower wing, upper wing, body, head, eyes, and whatsoever. So we're going to select these 2 by clicking on this little circle right here, holding down shift and clicking on the upper wing as well. And now you can see that we have them 4 selected. You can also select these by just deselecting here, selecting one here, hold down shift, select, select, select. There's a few different ways to select things. We're going to go to the opacity slider in the control panel, which is right up here. We're going to decrease the wing opacity to 29. So we just enter 29 here. Click enter. And now we have pulled their opacity down to 29%. And there you go. So after you've completed all these steps, either by following the video or by reading the instructions, you're supposed to submit it for the assignment number 5. You can of course go back and change the colors or make it a little more spacey by pulling out maybe the ends over here or changing the colors of the leaves. You can do whatever you want for this assignments as long as you use the mesh tool and gradients and transparency and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to see what you guys come up with.